Very warm welcome to you in another video. And basically I'm recording after a while because as you remember in the previous video I was telling you that I'm a little down, and basically I had this sore throat and many other things, but instead of wasting time I would come to our discussion. I'm back, I'm feeling quite better, and I believe that I felt like I am in a position to record a video to share some stuff with you people, and that's why I decided to go for it. So today's topic, or I would say just like the rest of the things, if you connect them all together, today's topic also has the same significance as the rest of the basic fundamentals that we have been discussing in the previous videos. So we're going to talk about how to hit the forehand and backhand. But before I proceed ahead, one important thing to tell you people at this moment and at this point of time is that I won't be preparing you for for a forehand or a backhand that is a winning forehand or backhand. Right now I am preparing you or sharing the stuff that I know, that I've learned through recreational tennis, so that you can enjoy your time. Of course, there are professional coaches out there who are telling you the different techniques. Few of them are quite rigorous when it comes to the technique, whether a player should have a closed stance or an open stance. A person who is an advocate of an open stance is going to make every player to play with an open stance, whether they are right eye dominant or left eye dominant. And the coach who loves to or prefer to play with a closed stance would make all his students or all her students play with a closed stance, instead of, or let's say, overlooking the point whether they are right eye dominant or left eye dominant. So I do not wish to go into that detail. I do not want to prove them wrong. They know a lot of stuff that I can't even imagine to know, because I still consider myself as a student of the game, and I'm learning it. I keep on learning it with each and every day whenever I play the game. So I would say that follow your own technique, whether you are comfortable playing with an open stance or a closed stance. We're going to focus on the thing that is hitting a forehand return as well as a backhand return, in which you can keep the ball in court, so that you can hit the ball with your opponent and enjoy the game and have some fun. It shouldn't be like your opponent has simply done the serve and you were not even able to return his or her ball. Whether it's coming from the deuce side or the ad side, you should be able to return back the ball. That should be the focus. And then let's say if you have returned it quite well, when the opponent hits the ball again, whether it's coming at your forehand or backhand, you're able to run towards the ball, whether forward or backward or right or left, as well as to play another good shot, so that the opponent enjoys and you enjoy, and you have a lovely game based on, let's say, 4-game, 5-game, or even a set. So you're going to love it. So this is going to be the target, so that you have fun while playing the game. And coming towards holding my racket, I'm going to tell you the way my coach taught me a couple of things. And as I told you earlier in the previous video, I've taken some training and classes from different coaches, not one. I've observed their techniques, and the earlier coach, like the first one, or let's say the very first one, used to tell me that try hitting the ball and go towards the ball, and try hitting the ball with as much force as you can. And of course the third thing was that first take the racket back, rather I should show it through this angle. Take the racket back, then take it down, and then take it up again and hit the ball. So taking the racket back, then down, and then in this way try to finish the racket. So this was the technique that the first one taught me, and I struggled. I kept on struggling because I was like unable to realize whether I should play with an open stance or a closed stance. I wasn't bothered about those things. I wasn't thinking about that much stuff. When he simply started hitting the ball towards my backhand side, so at the initial phase I was returning the ball like this with a single hand, and I would try to emulate Federer, the way he would simply he has this technique of then he simply plays the shot, you know the style, and then he plays the shot. Or to show it from this angle, he does something like this. So they have a technique. So I used to, imitate his style, and I would think as though one day I would be able to do it, but I always failed. And gradually, when I started, let me try double fisted backhand, let's see how it goes. So when I held my racket, and one day the ball came down, and I was able to, brush the ball, and I would hit it, and the coach simply enjoyed it and said, "How are you able to do that? You started, hitting the ball so well." So I started wondering also, what is the thing that I'm doing basically. So I analyzed my grip. Sorry about that. Despite that it's a new grip, still got torn because I play every day almost. So this is the kind of when I look at it, the way when I'm returning the ball, this is the kind of grip that I have. So and then I basically I take the racket back and the ball is coming, and then this is the angle, right? That's how I play. So that if I talk about the second coach, the second coach used to tell me this butt cap is very important. What you have to do is that while you are playing your forehand, you have to show this butt cap to your opponent and then swing the racket to play a forehand. You have to show this butt cap. When you are showing the butt cap to your opponent, you are taking your racket back, the racket face goes down, and then you swing the ball. This was something that he was trying to teach me. And not just that, you have to show this butt cap twice. Like this is the first one, and after playing it, take the racket back and show the butt cap again to your opponent. So this was his technique, and he kept on making me do all the drills of doing this and then swinging the ball. And regarding the backhand side, he used to appreciate me. The second coach once again used to appreciate me, that look at the way you're playing the backhand. Why don't you do the same technique at the forehand? And I used to tell him, I don't know how I'm doing it. It's happening naturally. So, but I'll keep on working on the forehand so that I'm able to play it as effectively as I'm able to play the backhand. But again, he would make me work on both sides. So I was working on my backhand drills as well as forehand. So this one kept on developing. This was developing at its own pace. So these were the two coaches, and after that I started playing with some intermediate level players and some recreational players who like to enjoy the game. So at the initial phase I struggled a lot, but gradually and steadily the backhand was successful. Whenever the rally would shift towards the ad side of the court, the ball would come at my backhand and I was able to return back quite well. But whenever the ball would simply shift towards the deuce side, then that was the point in which I used to struggle. But so far I'm just sharing my experience. You can try it out. Yeah, I forgot that there was a third coach also, from which I have taken some, from whom I have taken some classes also, not that much, a couple of weekends. And the basic thing that he was telling me, he told me again that there is a little problem in your forehand. You are not following the right technique. Backhand is perfect. He tested me to simply hit a backhand straight and then cross court. I was able to do it. But at the forehand side, he said, okay, you need to do work a lot more compared with the way you're working on the backhand. And he was telling me that you are missing a very important point, and that is brushing the ball. So this is something on which I would like to conclude this video, that if you want to develop whether a good backhand or forehand, it was naturally happening at the backhand side, but somehow maybe I have a little rash or a rough kind of forehand, that while mimicking or imitating the style of Federer, I was doing something else. I wasn't brushing the ball. All these players are creating a top spin. So for a top spin, the coach generally tell you to brush the ball. This is my advice in this video. Don't focus on hitting the ball, rather showing you from this side. If this is the ball, take the racket down and then brush the ball. Whenever the ball comes, don't think about that you have to cross the net for now. Think about brushing the ball. you brush the ball, you brush the ball. And when you will start brushing the ball appropriately, you will learn more control over the ball, and your ball will start traveling across the net, will go short initially and will start going deep, and then it will go so close to the baseline that it will start becoming more and more difficult for the opponent to return your ball. But this is a slow paced journey. It's not going to happen immediately. It took me rather years with my struggling forehand to reach at a level in which I can, play at a certain level in which I can give a little bit of tough time as well as an interesting time for the opponent to enjoy the game. But when the ball shifts to the backhand, they tend to, shift the ball at my forehand side, because they know if they do it at the backhand side, somehow you'll find a way to win the point. So this is my point, this is my advice. At the outset, try to brush the ball. Learn to brush the ball. Then think about everything. We're taking it back, and then bringing it down, and then as all the coaches are telling you that you have to do uni-turn, taking the racket down, and then returning the ball, and then gripping the racket, taking it back. Right now, I'll just ask you to do one thing. When the ball is coming, brush, and the same thing, brush the ball. So the racket movement has to be something like this, at a 90-degree angle from the baseline or the court. So when you will do this movement, gradually the ball will start traveling with a topspin. So hopefully you're gonna work it out, you're gonna do it, and if there is anything that I wish to add within this forehand backhand technique, I'm gonna share that in the next video. See you.